Lovely. All right, top of the mat when you're ready, feet together or slightly apart. And then just grounding down through the feet. So you might pick up the toes, spread them, and then place them back down again. You might lift up through the kneecaps, so we're nice and strong into the thighs, and then start to engage and squeeze the glutes a little, or even the outer hips. And then just like lifting the chest a little, lift the collarbones, maybe reach up through the crown of the head. And just letting the shoulders soften. Now when you're ready, starting to find that nice strong breath. So deep inhales, longer exhales. Now we're just trying to find a nice breath that we can work with throughout the practice today. Using that inhale to help us create some length in the body, and then that exhale to move into that space we've created. Do stretch a little further, move a little further. All right, hopefully keeping that rhythm if you can. Going to go to the top of the mat, feet together. All right, we'll start off with our salutations. So the first one nice and slow. When you're ready, open the eyes and take an inhale and reach the arms all the way up. You might squeeze the outer hips towards each other as you maybe take the hands back a little, looking up. And exhale, soften the knees, fold towards the floor, drop the head. Have a little lean forwards if you can, so a little more into the toes. Pull the belly to the back of the spine and drop the head. Lovely, nice halfway lift. You might keep the knees soft, just lifting up, trying to get a little bit of an arch into the upper back. And then exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back to plank. Shift forwards and down, maybe use the knees for the first one, elbows in. Lovely, taking the feet wide, take the hands wide as well maybe, we'll go for a wide arm up dog. Squeezing the shoulder blades together, lift the chest, and then start to send the shoulders down the back, fire up your upper back muscles. Maybe looking up to the sky, and then send the chest forwards, heart forwards, and come all the way down. Hands go in by the ribs, tuck the toes. And then lifting up, downward facing dog. Well done. So first downward facing dog, you can stretch out a little bit more here. Checking in with the body, the arms, the legs. Checking in with the back, the sides of the body. And maybe even moving through the feet, through the knees, and into the hips. Well done. Nice steady breath as you go. Good. 3, 4, and 5. Looking forward, step the feet towards the front. Nice halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Again, a little bend in the knees, leaning forward slightly into those toes. And then inhale, press into the feet, reach up, lift up, squeeze the outer hips as you lift the hands, looking up as well. And exhale, all the way back to standing. Right, let's go again, a little bit quicker. Nice big inhale, reach up, lift up. Exhale, reach and fall to the floor, slightly straighter legs, drop the head. Inhale, halfway lift, keep that little lean forwards if you can. Good, exhale, plant the hands, feet all the way back. Shift forwards and down. Good, inhale, you go for a wide arm up dog again. Shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, looking up maybe, soften the shoulders down the back. Good, then send the heart forward, chest forwards, and all the way down. Hands by the ribs, tuck the toes. Tabletop position first if you want, and then into down dog. Well done, 5 points again. So try to really work nice strong hands, spread the fingers. Arms nice and strong, nice and straight. And maybe starting to roll the upper arms out. So it should feel like your shoulders are trying to come away from each other, trying to broaden across the upper back. Head might be dropped slightly, or just aim to have the ears in line with the upper arms, or even a little bit higher. So rounded upper back. Start to fire up the legs, pressing the heels back, calves back. And then so you can pull the belly to the back of the spine and lift the sit bones a little bit higher. Well done, take another breath here. Good, well done. Look forward, stepping the feet towards the front. Nice halfway lift. Exhale, folding down, drop the head. Good, inhale, push into the feet, reach up and lift up. Look up, maybe lean back as well. And exhale all the way back to standing. Okay, one more, nice big inhale, reach up, lift up. Exhale, folding down, trying to move with the breath now. Inhale, nice healthy breath. Exhale, coming all the way down. So use the whole of the exhale to come all the way to the floor. Inhale, coming into that upward facing dog, maybe wide arms, maybe your usual. And then exhale, heart forwards, chest forwards. Lovely. Inhale, tabletop. And exhale, down dog. Lovely. Sometimes it helps to just take that extra breath in up dog, just to help to open the chest a little bit more. Well then, fire up the arms, the legs, belly pulls into the back of the spine. And then 1, 2, try and fire up the thighs. 3, strong straight arms. 4. And 5. Lovely. Looking forward. Step the feet towards the front. Feet together. Nice halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Drop the head. Inhale, pressing into the feet. Reach up, lift up, look up. And exhale all the way back to standing. Lovely. All right, we're going to go for B. So when you're ready, you can take the feet slightly apart, just helps with chair. From here, bending into the knees, you might press back into the heels. As you press back into the heels, I'll fire up the glutes. Then melt the chest, heart forwards, maybe looking up to the sky. If you want to take the arms up as well, you can do, just going as high as you can. Arms can always go wider. Take a breath. Lovely. Exhale, folding down. Keep the knees bent, hands go down flat. Then start to lift the hips. So you're going to start to get a deeper hamstring stretch. Good. Inhale, halfway down. Exhale, plant the hands, feet back to pike. Shift forwards and down. Inhale, upward facing dog, heart forward, chest forwards. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. Right foot forwards for warrior 1. So you might shorten your left foot in slightly and reach up, lift up. Heart forwards, chest forwards, lifting the arms up as well, maybe. Lovely. Exhale all the way down. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog again, your version. Trying to get the chest forward, heart forwards. A little squeeze of the shoulders. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Straight, stretch out. Then when you're ready, left foot forwards. So again, shorten the right foot in slightly. Sometimes it helps to get the heel in. Lifting the arms up, chest forwards, heart forwards. Take a nice big inhale at the top. And exhale all the way down. All the way down on that exhale. Lovely. Inhale, up facing dog, your version. And exhale, downward facing dog. Lovely. 5 breaths here. Slow down the breath. Good. 1. Nice and strong into the legs, the arms. 2. Trying to broaden across the upper back. 3. Pull the belly into the back of the spine. 4. Heels back, calves back. And 5. Lovely. Look forwards. Maybe jump the feet forwards. Full step. Nice halfway leg. Exhale, folding down, drop the head. And then bend knees, sinking low, press back into the heels. Coming up, maybe hands to the thighs, chest forwards, heart forwards. And then when you're ready, you're lifting those arms up. Good, all the way back to standing. Take a breath. Lovely. All right, let's get into those side stretches now. It's going to take a nice big step all the way out to the right, right foot towards the back of the mat. Heels on that imaginary straight line. We might have a straight line on your mat. And then when you're ready, you're going to reach your right hand forward. Stretch forward as far as you can and then coming down towards your right shin. You can actually rest your hand down, or if you've got a block, you can get your hand onto a block. All right, take a moment to tuck under with the tailbone. Try and stack the shoulders over one another. And then taking your left hand up to the sky, then start to take it forwards and over. So it's going to feel a little bit like our side angle pose. So take the left hand over the top of the head if you can. And as you do, you're just going to start to feel the weight of that arm. And you should start to intensify that stretch on the left side of the ribs, maybe into the hip. Lovely. Now press into the outside edge of the left foot and fire that up a little bit more. So now you create some resistance. Good. Try and hold it here. 3 breaths. Keep pressing into the outside edge of the back foot. And then the exhale to let go. So we can go into it a little bit further. Lovely. 1 more breath. Excellent, well done. Nice and slowly look down at the front foot, push into the knee, release the top arm, coming all the way back up. Lovely, it's quite an intense stretch. All right, let's switch around. Left foot forwards. Again, reach forwards as far as you can with your left hand coming down towards your left shin. You can always rest the hand there or grab a block. And then again, starting to lean into it a little bit more. Then take that right arm up to the sky, as we usually do for triangle. And now take it forward and over the top of the head. You can go for straight arm, or you can just soften into the elbow, soften into the shoulder. Maybe start to square the hips out to the side a little. Looking under with the tailbone. Lovely. You can still look up to the ceiling if you want to. It'll open the chest a little bit more. You might intensify that stretch. And press down into the outside edge of that right foot and fire up the outer hip. Well done. Hold it here. 3 breaths. Good. 3. Soften the top shoulder. 4. Keep pressing down into the outer right hip. And 5. Lovely. Push into the front knee. Coming all the way back up nice and slowly. Lovely. Well done. Exhale. Release the hands down. Pulling your left foot in again and then right foot towards the back. We're going to lunge into this one. So warrior 2 to start. If you want to go a little bit wider, you can do. Keep the hips out to the side though if you can, and then sinking down. So you should feel like your hips are still facing out, chest still facing out. Lovely, taking the arms out nice and wide here. Maybe turn the palms up. Lovely, and then sinking into that right leg. Good, back leg nice and strong still. You see if you can just pull your feet apart and away from each other. So fire up the legs. Well done. As that's happening, try and squeeze your outer hips towards each other. It's quite a difficult one. So we've got the feet pushing out and away, and we've got the hips squeezing in. Well done, hold it there. Good, 2 more. Soften the shoulders, strong arms. Lovely. Send your right hand forwards as far as you can. You can drop the left hand down, and then go up for reverse warrior. So we're doing this, but we're purposely out to the side. You can start to twist a little bit as if you're trying to send your right ribs forwards over your right knee. It's quite an intense one again. You might feel that into the hip. Yeah, lovely. So kind of sometimes we go into reverse warrior from warrior 1, so hips are forwards, but I've gone into it from warrior 2, so it's a little bit deeper. Well done. Maybe looking up to the ceiling. Excellent. 1 more breath here. Should feel strong in the legs. Good work, well done. From here, drop your right elbow down on top of your right thigh, or take the hand towards the floor, and then take your left arm up and over for side angle pose. Maybe lowering the hips a little bit more. Good, give that a nice diagonal stretch. Lovely. Maybe push the right knee out slightly with your right arm, or just use the leg to push it out slightly. Good, and then feel the feet pull apart and away from each other. Good, 3 breaths. Looking up at the top hand. Good. 3. Sink the sit bones down. 4. And 5. Well done. When you're ready, push into the front knee, coming all the way back up. Oh, that was a strong one. All right, switching over, left side, warrior 2. So again, sinking down, hips are out to the side, and then arms out nice and wide. Lovely. Arms strong, shoulders soft. Palms facing up, this helps with the chest. Little tuck under if you need to. Good, hold it there, nice deep breaths. Lovely, hips are out to the side. Maybe get a little tuck under the tailbone, belly pulling in. Good, 1 more breath. The other way to look at it is imagine your sit bones are trying to pull towards the floor, so not back, but down towards the floor. Good, 1 more breath here. Lovely, let's go for that reverse warrior. So lifting up, getting that nice stretch. You can have a little bend in the top elbow, and then send those left ribs forwards towards your left knee. Right hand can drop down. Again, it might feel a little unusual. And from warrior 2 to warrior 1. Lovely, nice and strong in the legs, feel them pull apart. Maybe looking up, soften into the left shoulder. Good, 2 more breaths. Last one. Excellent, well done. Lowering that left elbow down, tap on up and over, or you can go a little bit lower and take the left hand down to the floor. Maybe slide that left knee out slightly into the hip. Fire up the legs, pressing the feet apart and away from each other if you can. And don't you feel the burn now. Good, nice stretch out through the top hand, maybe looking up. Good, 3 breaths. Good, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Push into the front knee, coming all the way back up. Lovely. Feet are just slightly even further apart. Take a nice big step all the way back to the front and shake it out. Lovely, well done. All right, let's try and get another nice stretch out. So we'll go for a forward fold one. We'll try and go 2 different ways. So feet are hip width apart, and then when you're ready, bend the knees and go down towards the floor. If you can, try to bend the knees as much as possible. Pull the belly to the back of the spine. Try to drop the head right down completely, so you're looking through your knees, through your calves. And now try to almost get your belly onto your thighs. So sometimes we relax the belly to do this. Now try to pull the belly to the back of the spine, and your hips might start to lift slightly, so sit bones start to lift as you do that. Now imagine your feet pulling apart and away from each other, so firing up the legs. And now so you can get a little squeeze of your outer hips towards each other. It's quite a lot of engagement. Relax the hands down, or grab the elbows, and just hold here. Well then, as you inhale, I'm going to try to lift the sit bones slightly. Exhale, allowing the crown of the head to come lower to the floor. And then 3 more breaths. So inhale, lift the sit bones, getting that deeper stretch down the back of the legs. Exhale, crown of the head down. Lovely, 2 more, softening the shoulders. Excellent, 1 more. Lovely, well done. Nice and slowly, you can bend the knees a little bit more, take the hands down, maybe look forwards. Take a breath, looking forwards. Good, well done. This time I'm going to straighten the legs. So you might take your hands onto your shins or your thighs and then straighten the legs. From here, you need to lean forward. So typically the hips will go back as we fold forwards. Keep a little lean forwards if you can, and then start to fold and drop the head. You might grab the back of the legs at this point, to the back of the thighs. You might go lower, grab the back of the calves. You're going to hug in if you can, or you can just let the hands go to the floor, your hand, your elbows. All right, from here, as you're leaning slightly forward, so a little bit lighter into the heels, more weight into the toes, even grip with the toes. Drop the head completely and look through your shins or your knees towards the back wall if you've got something there. All right, straight legs this time, so engage the thighs. Same again, I'm going to inhale, lift the sit bones. Exhale, work the crown of the head down. If you need that little squeeze in again, and squeeze the outer hips. But try to keep the thighs engaged. This is a little bit harder to do. You can stretch out more on the first one. Lovely, 3 more breaths. Good, 2 more. Excellent, 1 more. Lovely, nice big inhale. Look forward, take a breath. Well done, hands to the waist, and inhale to come all the way back up. Woo! Good work, well done. All right, from here we'll take a nice big step all the way out to the side and go nice and wide with the feet. You can always have your toes turned out or in, depending on which way your pelvis tilts. Nice straight legs as well. Inhale, lift the chest down, and exhale, folding down. So you might bend your knees to start with this one, just like we did with our forward fold, with feet together. And then just get into it, so get the hands down, and then just move side to side. So bending one knee, straightening the other leg, just getting into the hips. Move the feet out if you need to. Just starting to open out into those inner thighs a little bit, into the inner hips. Well done. All right, try to find that middle ground now. I'm starting to straighten both legs. And again, have that little lean forward, so more into the toes, less into the heels. Fire up the feet by pulling them apart and away from each other. And then dropping the head right down, looking between the legs. Then from there, try to squeeze your outer hips towards each other so you fire up that inner core. Pelvic floor might engage as well. Lovely. Fire up the thighs, straight legs. And then either grab hold by the elbow, let the head hang down or pull to the floor almost. Lovely. Well done. Keep going. Deep breaths. 3 more. Lovely. 3. 4. Keep that little lean forwards. Keep that squeeze. Now 5. Again, nicely inhale, lift, look forwards. Well then, exhale, hold here. Lovely, inhale, bend the knees, and then exhale, coming all the way back up. Good work, well done. All right, nice big step all the way forwards when you're ready. Lovely, shake it out. All right, let's have a little go at doing a balance. We had a little go at this one this week. We've done it a few times in class, so we'll have a little go today. You can use a wall or a bit of furniture if you need to. We're just going to try to open the chest a little and get a nice balance. Dancer's pose, this one. So you can lean and hold on to something if you want to focus more on the posture, or you might want to just work on the balance, up to you. Shift the weight to your left foot, and then to start with, just grab your right foot. Just grab it from the outside. Then tuck under with the tailbone, so you feel that nice thigh stretch. Glutes engage as well. And just hold that there for 5. So nice stretch of the thigh. 4, the more you tuck under, the more you pull that right foot in, the more stretch you feel. 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Now slide your fingers so they go over the top of the toes, and then they go to the inside of the foot. So you've now got your fingertips facing out. One of the things to watch out for is sometimes your knee will want to go out here, and if you can, try to keep it in, hip width apart. It'll happen a little bit, but just keep an eye on it. And then nice and slowly, you're going to start to take the foot away. So right foot goes away, and you feel that right shoulder blade muscle kick in. Then you can start to maybe go up a little bit higher with the foot, again taking the foot back, maybe starting to lean forwards if you want to go further, maybe stretching that left hand out, or you're going to hold on to something if you need the balance. I really do today. Flexing the foot as well will help you, and going up a little bit higher. Then to go a little bit further, which is where you might want to hold on to something, you're going to try and get your right front ribs to come forwards and down, so you end up getting more into your shoulder blade on that right side. Have a little go. Yeah, good. So your body will want to twist and open. Try to keep it all pulling back in and forwards if you can. 2 more breaths here. 1 more. Also, nice and slowly release. Whew. Shake it out. Good stretch of the chest, that one. All right, let's switch over other side. So left foot pulling up, just grab the foot from the outside, tuck under with the tailbone to create that resistance, get that nice stretch. Knee will want to come forward, so you're pinning the foot back. Flex the foot as well. Make some nice deep breaths. And that nice stretch out. Good. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. All right, we're going to slide the hands over the top of the toes, then to the inside, and again, make sure the knee doesn't go too wide. And then when you're ready, you're going to start to take that foot back. Well done. Then you might start to go up a little bit higher, so taking the foot up higher, maybe coming forwards so you get the balance. See where you're at, or hold on to something. Getting that little squeeze into the shoulder blade as well. Lovely, looking good. Well done. Then maybe getting that little squeeze in or that pull forward. So left ribs pulling forwards and down. Yeah, good work. 2 breaths here. Lovely, last one. Excellent. We're doing nice and slowly, releasing down and release. Yay, good work. All right, let's come to the top of the mat. Let's work our way down. All right, nice big inhale, reach up, lift up. Exhale, fall to the floor, drop the head. Inhale, nice halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, big breath back. Shift forwards and down. Feet nice and wide. Inhale, upward facing dog, your version. Try and melt the chest, ribs forwards, forwards and down. And then exhale, down facing dog. Get a nice stretch out to the back of the legs. Stretch out through the arms, down the side of the body. Well done. And then when you're ready, come through to seated. I'm taking the feet all the way out. Awesome. So warm one today, I think. All right, from here, we'll try to get a little bit more of a stretch. So right knee's pulling in towards you, and then drop it out to the side so it feels like tree pose. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you're going to send your right knee further back. It's almost like you're turning your chest towards the right a little. And then you're trying to square your chest back towards the front, but keeping that right knee out. And maybe reach forwards towards your ankle, your shin, maybe the toe, and just get a nice side stretch. So right shoulder working forward, use your right hand to pull it forwards, and then get the right hip to press down. So you get that stretch down the right side of the body. You might keep the left hand down to start with, just get a breath. Straight left leg. And then when you're ready, you might bring that left hand forwards as well to meet the right hand. So it's always going to be harder to stretch that right hand forwards just because the right hip is open. And if you press your right hip back and down, you should then get that right side of the back. And you should feel that stretch a little bit more, or maybe get into the hip. Well done, soften the shoulders, strong straight leg. Lovely, 3 deep breaths here. Maybe moving a little bit further forward with the exhale. Good, one more. So nice big inhale, lift, look forwards, and exhale, release. All right, from here we'll go a little bit further still. So again, we're going to turn the chest towards the right now and take the right knee even further out if you can. Up to you how much you open out the hip. And this time we're going to take left hand forwards first. Left elbow comes down on top of your left thigh, or even to the inside of the thigh. And you can reach even further forwards if you want to. The elbow on the thigh should be enough. Then start to open the chest. So you're pressing your left elbow into your left thigh. Open the chest. Left leg strong. And then nice and slowly take that right arm up and over, just like we did for our triangle pose. We modified and took the arm over the top so we get that deeper side stretch. Check in with the right shoulder. Take any tension out of the neck. Soften the right shoulder. Little bend in the right elbow sometimes helps. And then just breathing through this one. So much more intense. If you flex your right foot, press your right hip down, you should start to feel that stretch more. Sometimes you can reach your right hand towards your left toes, and then you can pull if you want to, if you get that far. Sometimes you can just lean over, you don't necessarily need to pull. It's quite intense, this one. We'll try 2 more breaths. Lovely, 1 more. Excellent, well done. Nice and slowly, just soften your top arm first, and then come all the way back up nice and slowly. Good, well done. All right, from here, let's do a vinyasa just to stretch out. So left foot pulls in, hands go forwards, and then work through a vinyasa. Notice if you feel the difference. So you might feel a little bit more of a stretch on your up dog. You might feel a little out of balance. Or you might find you feel it when you get into your down dog. Maybe noticing a little bit more length on that right side. Well done. All right, once you've got a nice stretch out in down dog, back through to seated, and then we'll do last side. All right, feet out nice and straight in front, and bring your left knee in, drop it out to the side like tree pose. Maybe take it back slightly. And then when you're ready, you're going to reach your left hand forward. So same hand as the knee out. Reach forward as far as you can. Maybe grab your shin, your ankle. Maybe grab your toe. Just lean over to the right slightly to get that stretch first. Pressing your left sit bone back and down. And then nice and slowly bring that right hand forwards when you're ready to meet the left hand. And then maybe going a little bit further. Soften into the shoulders. Lovely. 3, 4, and 5. Lovely. Inhale, lift, look forwards. Exhale, release. Woo. All right, then we'll go further still. So you're going to take your knee out a little bit wider. So go wider with the hips if you can. Then right elbow comes down on top of your right thigh. Your chest is out to the side now. And then when you're ready, leaning over, maybe take that top arm with you as well. Make sure you soften into the shoulder. Right leg nice and strong. Now just starting to, soften in the left shoulder and soften in the right shoulder as well, but it's a little easier to relax that one than the top one. You can always try open the chest if you want to, or just pressing that left hip down. You should feel that a little bit more. Lovely. 2 more breaths. Lovely. 1 more. Keep pressing the left hip down. Lovely. Well done. Nice and slowly release your top arm. And all the way back up. Lovely. Well done. Cross the feet to vinyasa. So hands forward. Step or jump your feet back, and then we'll go through for a vinyasa. Well done. We're going to try and get some twists in, and then we'll have a little go at doing some lifts today. We'll go. All right, so twists. Once you come back through to seated, you can just go straight legs, it's fine. And just stretch out through the legs. All right, then we have a little go at twists. If you need to sit on a block for this, you can do. It does help sometimes. You're going to bring your right knee up, and then bring your left foot and tuck it under behind your right foot and bring it close towards your right buttock. And if you can, slide your left knee so it goes down the center of the body. So left foot comes in towards the right buttock. Then either sit up nice and tall. This is the tricky bit. Sometimes we'll slouch back. So if you sit on a block, that will help, sitting up tall. And then if you want to go further still, you're going to step your right foot over the top of your left knee. And again, try to sit up tall. Then try to come further forward. So lean forwards. The block will help again. And hug your left arm in around your right knee. Then as you start to twist, keep leaning forwards and try to glue your left ribs towards your right inner thigh. So keep everything in nice and close here if you can. All right, once you get to that point, you can start to twist, which is harder because you've got left ribs glued. You might be able to get your left hand underneath your right knee. Shoulder rolls in to do this one. And then you might reach around and grab hold behind so you get a little bit of a bind. And you can get a twist. But don't worry, you can just hug and twist. Sometimes if you want to feel like you get a little bit more of a shoulder lift, you do cactus arm with your right arm. You get that little squeeze into the right shoulder blade. So if you're not getting the bind, sometimes having that right arm and cactus arm will just help you get that nice squeeze in. Lovely, deep breaths. Start to open up, so going towards the back maybe. Use that exhale to find a little more movement. So one more breath. Good work, well done. Exhale, nice and slowly, release your right arm. Looking forwards, and then happily release. All right, let's switch over on the side. So this time, keep your left knee bent, and then your right foot is going to pull in towards your left foot. And then your left foot steps over the top of your right knee. Maybe lean forwards for this one, or you're sitting on a block. The temptation is when we twist to kind of lean back, and then we twist, and then we don't quite get the movement we need in the ribs. So if you keep forwards, hug in with your right arm, and then try and glue or turn your right ribs towards your left inner thigh. Try and find some movement there, or some length. And then maybe go for the bind if you want to. So hook the right arm underneath your left knee, and maybe go for the bind. Or just work to hug in, and then maybe go for that left cactus arm. And getting that nice shoulder roll back, and then breathe. So everything will feel really tight, really compressed, but if you can, still try to just find a little more space. Maybe you might find it in the chest, taking a deeper breath to lift the upper part of the chest. You might have more space there, and then the exhale to move into that space and maybe looking back. Well done, 3 more. Good, 3, 4, now 5. Well done. Nice and slowly release that left hand, releasing back forwards off the feet and vinyasa. Have another stretch out, so you should feel a little bit more stretched out after that one. And we'll come through for some lifts. Good, nice deep breath, steady breath if you can. All right, when you come back through to seated, we're gonna have a little go at doing our lift. So straight leg lift essentially. We tried to work on these in our core drills in the morning and do like kind of variations of them, but just to build in general better core strength. But you can start doing things with it as well and bring that into your yoga practice, but just in general. So first one, you're gonna try to lift your sit bones and move forwards. So that's quite a tricky one to do. And then lean forwards as far as you can. Take your hands up and over the top. So your core kicks in as well here. And then take an inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, reach forwards. Lovely. I'm going to do a couple more of those. Straight, strong legs if you can. Exhale, reach forwards. Lovely. 2 more. Keep reaching forwards. Straight arms, soften the shoulders. Last one. As you go forwards, try to keep that length and take the hands down towards the floor, towards your mat. Just go to the outside of the feet, the legs, wherever they go. Now, try to keep leaning forwards to keep that core engaged, and now slide your hands back. And you aim to sort of go in between your thighs if you can. So before, above the knees if you can, not quite near the hips, and then we'll do a little bit of trial and error. Spread your fingers nice and wide, and you're going to press down into your hands and see if you can get a lift up. If not, take the hands a little bit further forwards, get a lift up, see if that was a little bit higher. If it was lower, then take your hands back. Well then, we're just going to keep moving the hands, see where's the best position, see where you get a bit more height. Well done. Right, hopefully you've found that height. It's quite hard on to do with straight legs, so don't worry if you're not getting the lift. If you've got blocks, you'll get a little bit more height as well, so you can always have hands on blocks either side. And then the next bit, keep leaning forwards because it does get harder once you lean back. You're going to lift just your right leg up. So I'll keep my hands down in the same position, but just lift the right foot up and hold and hover. So just an inch off the floor. Now pull your right hip back. So it feels like you're shortening your right leg. Hold it there for 5, you might be shaking. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the right leg down. Shake it out. Not easy. Hold on, I'm going to switch over left side. Left foot lifts just an inch off the floor. Hold the hip back, shorten the leg. Hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, And one, well done. Release it down, shake it out. All right, so we're going to go again. We're going to go for our lifts to get your hands in the right place. You're going to lift, but as you lift, I want you to pull both your hips back. So it's like you're trying to shorten both of your legs. And that's what will fire up your hip flexors. And that's what might get your feet off the ground. So it's the hips pulling back that might get the feet off the ground. So get the hands down, make sure you know where your lift is. And then when you're ready, you lift up and pull your hips back. And just have a little go. Well done, take a breath. And exhale, release down. Woo, well done, shake it out. Not an easy one, but if you can start working on that, like super cool. And eventually, as you pull the hips back, those heels will come up off the floor, but it's the hips pulling back, the hip flexor engagement that gets those feet back off the floor. Well done. All right, one to practice. All right, we'll have a little go. So up to you, you can do an inversion. You do shoulder stand, you do head stand, you do handstand. If you want to have a go at that pike position, so you might be here, you're in this position, so this is our pike, in a handstand with your feet against the wall. It's a really good one because you have to pull your hips back, so you're sort of trying to get this little bit of an arch in the lower back to get into that pike position. Super strong for the core, but a really good one to help build strength. So if you want to have a go at that, I know you can do handstands, you're welcome to, but if you want to just chill out and do feet up the wall or shoulder stand, then feel free. If you are going to have a go at doing that pike one, if you come into a tabletop position and then have your feet against your wall or your skirting board, and then you know you're in the right position, make sure your hands are shoulder width apart, spread the fingers. And then when you're ready, tuck your toes under, so your toes might be on the floor, feet against the wall and lift up so it's like a short down dog. Then take one foot up about halfway up and see if you can straighten the leg. And then the other foot joins, and that is your pike position. And what you should find, it's really hard because the hips will have to shift forwards over the wrist slightly, and that's what makes it a bit more challenging. Have a go at that. If not, you can walk the feet all the way up. We might be doing a different inversion. Well done. You can practice those leg movements as well. We've been doing a lot of that. Well done. You try and do about another 5 to 10 breaths or so. Take your time. Well done. And if you are doing the pike ones against the wall with your feet against the wall, eventually you can start to take one foot off the wall and hover it, and then you'll switch over and do the other one. And we'll just work till you're at. Okay, well done. Good. Get some nice hip openers there as well. Well done. Yeah, nice. Working straight legs if you can. Always harder when you go upside down. Okay. All right, and then nice and slowly, we'll just start to work towards our final posture, which is Savasana. So think about taking your time to come back down. Come down nice and slowly, maybe coming onto your back and just squeezing out, having a little hug in. Or if you come down on your front, you might want to rest in child's pose, and again, just stretch out the back that way. All right, then up to you. You can work through a vinyasa, one more vinyasa if you want to, but if not, if you feel like you're done, feel free to just go straight onto your back and into your Savasana. These core ones are a little bit tough. All right, so once you're on your back, just taking your feet a little bit wider, making your hands a little bit further away from your hips. Maybe tucking under with the tailbone if you need to, but feet wide helps with that. Now having the palms facing up. And maybe closing the eyes, tucking the chin. And then just take a deep breath in. Big sigh out. Nice deep breath in. Big sigh out. Really nice deep breath in. Big sigh out. And just allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Allowing the body to fully relax. Allowing your feet, your ankles, and calves to feel heavy. Allowing your knees and your thighs to relax and down. Feeling the hips, the pelvis, nice and heavy, sinking deeper down. Allowing your lower back to soften, relax. Your mid back, your upper back. Allowing shoulders, the back of your head to feel heavier and heavier, and to sink into the earth. So let go of the breath, let go of the body, and let go of the mind. Nice and slowly, just want to bring a little awareness back to the breath, back to the body. Maybe take a nice deep breath in, big sigh out. Maybe a nice big stretch of the neck and just do the arms, the legs, and sides of the body, and then get a little lift in the chest. And maybe bringing the knees in, giving a little hug in, a little rock from side to side, and just easing out the lower back. And nice and slowly moving over to one side. Taking a nice breath here. And ready. And back up to seated. Very open as well. We're just taking our hands to heart center. Soften the shoulders and just take a moment to check in with the body and mind. See how you feel. Namaste.